I just got off the phone with someone who was asking me if now is a great time to sell their home or should they wait until spring. My answer comes next. So, like I said, I just got off the phone with someone who was asking whether they should put their house on the market now or wait until spring. And here's my answer is now, now, now. Interest rates are incredibly low, and there are still buyers who have not found the house that they want. So they're out there looking. And when, there's not quite as much competition right now, there's not quite enough houses for those buyers, it's a great time to have your home on the market. So here's a couple of quick tips for getting your home ready to sell. Let's say you wanted to have it on the market within 2 or 3 weeks. Here's a plan to get it done. The very first thing that you do when you're thinking about selling is start packing. That's the simplest and easiest way to say we want to get rid of some of the stuff that we live with on a day-to-day basis. A couple of years ago, we did new floors in our downstairs, and it reminded me of how much I like my house because we moved all the furniture out. And all of a sudden, there was all this lovely space in the master bedroom, and there was more space in the living room. And it was just because we had kind of overfilled it with the things we love and we're willing to live with. But when you're selling square footage, you're selling space. And so you want to make space between all your furniture so there's a lot, it just looks cleaner. Think minimalist. Think really nice hotel room. There's just not a lot of duplication everywhere. All the flat surfaces are very clean, maybe one or two very strategic pieces to draw the eye, but other than that, clean, minimalist. So start packing. Once you've started the declutter process, the packing up process, then you've probably noticed a couple of things that may need doing around the house. Anytime you start paying attention, you'll notice the little things that you've gotten eye blind to. You've forgotten that that doorknob is loose or that that faucet is leaking, and now is the time. Let's take care of those things right now because those are little things. They're not very expensive. Generally, most homeowners can take care of them. If not, hire a handyman for a couple of hours and give them a whole list of things to accomplish. Light switches that don't work, electrical plugs that aren't functioning. Let's clean those up. All the little things the buyers notice. Trust me, they notice. And it's almost a subliminal thing. When a buyer sees a lot of small nagging repairs that have not been done prior to a house being put on the market, they really wonder in the back of their mind, they're wondering, what's bigger that they haven't dealt with either? What are the things that this homeowner has not addressed? And maybe they're bigger and scarier than a loose doorknob. Another tip is let's go outside for a little bit. And we're going to divide this up into landscaping and curb appeal. So let's talk landscaping first. That is just the general look of the plants in your yard. I can't tell you how many times I go somewhere and just see overgrown shrubs. Let's tame those beasts. If the shrubs are encroaching on the sidewalk, let's cut them back. Let's trim them up. We don't want an overgrown jungly feel. You do not have to give them a crew cut, but let's just tame them a little bit, okay? If there are tree branches that are interfering with how someone would walk, up to the front porch, then maybe we remove some of those. Give everything just a nice little trim and a haircut, and your house will just look better if things are a little more under control. And yeah, frankly, you'll be able to see the house. There are times when it's really hard to see the front of the house because the shrubs have grown up so much that they're covering everything. You don't want that. let's tend to those. And while we're talking landscaping, if it is spring or summer, you're going to be fertilizing and watering your yard, which of course means that you're going to be mowing more. But it's all a part of making your house look as appealing as possible. And the other aspect of outdoors is, let's just talk about curb appeal. It's one thing to make your landscape green and neat, and another to kind of pump up the appeal so that it is very visually welcoming to a buyer. It's such fun to drive up to a house with buyers in my back seat and have them go, "Oh, how cute! Oh, what a great looking house." That's exactly the reaction you are going to want. So, at the very least, you're going to pressure wash the around the door, the front door. Get rid of any spider webs, any wasp nests, any nasties that are living there. So many people go in and out of their house through the garage that they forget how important having a really pretty, neat front porch, front door area is. So pressure wash, paint the front door, clean any storm door glass, make sure it's all nice and pretty. Get yourself a nice mat and shine things up just a little bit. Maybe add a pot of flowers, and that'll have a nice effect on what you're trying to do, which is make a good first impression. You know, when I'm with buyers, the first thing I'm doing at the front door is getting the keys out of the lockbox. My buyers are standing behind me just kind of twiddling their thumbs for 30 seconds to a minute while I do that, and they can notice chipping paint, nasty cobwebs. You know, if there's something not particularly pretty, they have time to look at it. Let's make it pretty. Let's make it easy for them to want to go in your house. In general, almost every seller can do three things. Fresh paint is always money well spent. We tend to live in our homes in a way that makes us happy. And so that means in my house, there's some green walls. There's maybe some colors that other people don't like. Teenage kiddos love to have their personalities expressed in their bedrooms. And so sometimes there's hot pink walls, or, you know, there's orange trim, or there's something that's not going to appeal to everybody. So a nice coat of interior paint. Current colors today are soft grays, and I have a whole list of good paint colors that are terrific. They're very appealing to buyers and go with a lot of flooring and a lot of decor, so that it kind of brings everything together. You'll always want to check with me because those things do change from time to time. But a good coat of fresh paint just makes the house look fresh. Have I said that word enough, do you think? It just gives a nice clean look. If you can do the baseboards and the trim at the same time, that is fantastic. Everything looks great at that point. Oh, another tip. Just take and clean all of the light switch plates, all of the, behind the doorknobs and stuff where your hand kind of touches, or where you may grasp the door. It just gets dingy after a while. Just take a magic eraser or, soap and water and just clean that. You'd be surprised how good that makes everything look. If you've got carpet in your home anywhere, let's consider some fresh carpet. You're thinking that's more money, right? It is, and it is, but it's money well spent. Buyers do not like other people's carpets. They consider that all that carpet, it just harbors dirt and germs, as far as every buyer I've ever worked with thinks. And yes, you can have your carpets shampooed, and that can do wonders for carpet. It's really worth thinking about to go get a simple, not very expensive carpet in a nice neutral color. At least do the master bedroom and maybe the other bedrooms as well. Fresh paint, fresh carpet, I think you get every dollar of that back. It really can improve the look of a house tremendously. And the last little on my list of fresh, we got fresh paint, we got fresh carpet. then let's do some fresh mulch outside. If you get rid of all the weeds in your landscaping, endeavors, you've done that, then blanket all your beds with a nice thick bed of mulch. It's almost as good as fresh carpet, in my opinion. It just makes everything look finished and well cared for. Well worth the money, the time, the effort that it takes. And believe me, I know you're either hiring somebody or you're working your own back to get it done. I understand that. Look, one of the reasons I tell sellers this is it's not to make life difficult. It's not to, reach in your pocket and just help you spend money. My goal is for you to make more money. I was in a house a couple of weeks ago getting kind of the final details right before we put it on the market. And there were still light bulbs, dead light bulbs, in a couple of the bathrooms and in the kitchen. First of all, that's a pet peeve of mine. In my own house, we have major amounts of light bulbs and they all work. And that's the way I like it. It's not hard to change those as a general rule. And honestly, I think when people see dead bulbs, they think, if the seller isn't willing to change the light bulb, what else are they not doing? It just brings everything down. And it's not something they may be able to articulate, but it's in the back of their head. And it's an overall feeling. And so you have some control when you're selling over little things like this. Let's make sure all those little things are done because you want buyers to go, oh, this is so nice. This house makes me feel great. My couch can go there. My dining table can go there. We'll put the TV here. That's what you want them thinking about. Not, I wonder if the seller ever changed the filters in the AC unit, If you've enjoyed this and found some benefit to it, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you get notified every Thursday when we put out a new video. I look forward to talking to you in the future. My number is 817-798-2420, and I am always willing to talk with someone about how to get the most money for your house.